Okay, in reading, I want us to be thinking about a question today. I want us to think about how can I find the main idea? We're going to be reading a text. Sorry, I cannot seem to get in front of my camera. We're going to be reading a text called The World at Night. And I linked in to your Canvas a short 3-minute video from National Geographic for Kids. And it's about nocturnal animals. So I want you to watch that first. Let me see if I can get myself right here. I want you to watch that first. And then you can come back and watch me. And our text is called The World at Night. Now, I didn't put the text in because it is a copyrighted text. So you have a copy. And this is your text. And it is in your packet. You have a really nice day 1, day 2, day 3. And so this is the one you have for day 1. And I did add a short little video. But we are going to now answer a question. How can I find the main idea? I can look for repeated words. So I can always look for repeated words because when an author repeats words, then they're important. And I want to start reading this text, and when I find repeated words, I'm going to mark them. So get you a highlighter ready or a marker ready so that you can highlight in your text when you see words that are repeated. So let me grab my highlighter. Sorry, I forgot to bring it to the table. Okay, got your stuff ready? All right, so I've got some colored things so that I can see when I find something that is repeated. And we're going to read this together, not the whole thing, but I'm going to start reading it with you. And I want you to look for things that are repeated. The world at night. The world during the day is very busy. Adults go to work and children go to school. Animals graze in fields, and birds are busy flying and searching for food. But what happens when we turn out the lights? Is everyone asleep? Answer is no. There is a whole amazing world that awakens when you and I go to sleep. What word did you hear repeated more than once? Sleep or asleep. So circle, asleep, sleep. And after I circle that, I'm going to write it out to the side. I'm just going to jot the word out here, sleep. Because I might go back to that word in a little bit because that word probably signifies a detail. And I'm going to ask myself some questions about details in just a little bit. Let's read the next part. Animals, insects, and other creatures that wake at night and begin their busy life are called nocturnal. There are many animals that are nocturnal. You probably hear the buzz begin outside in the evenings before you go to bed. What word did you hear repeated? Nocturnal. So, circle nocturnal. I saw it used twice. So I'm going to come out to the side here and I'm going to write down nocturnal. Okay. Some animals sleep during the day because of the temperature. In many areas, it can be too hot for an animal to be out in the day. For example, iguanas live in the desert. During the day, it can be over 100 degrees in the sun. This is way too hot for an iguana to hunt for food and do all the things iguanas do. So, they sleep in the shade of trees or rocks to keep cool. At night, when the temperature drops, they wake up and hunt. Okay, so there were several repeated words. So circle your repeated words in that paragraph. So we have animals repeated repeatedly. What else did you see that was repeated more than once? Day. Okay, so I've got day. It's repeated several times. There was a particular animal. Yeah, an iguana. So I'm going to circle him. He's repeated several times. Now, and I think I thought maybe sleep might have been repeated because we'd had sleep before, but I don't think it was repeated. So let's look at what was repeated. Oh yes, sleep was repeated. Okay, I've got sleep. All right, so I have animals, sleep, I have day, I have iguanas. So I've got those words to jot into my margin. Animals, sleep, I've got day, and I've got iguana. Alrighty. Now, let's read the next one. If you have ever had a hamster as a pet or know someone who has, you know that they sleep during the day and are active at night. This is because it is part of their nature. They are nocturnal. Hamsters are not fast animals. This is because it is part of their nature. They are nocturnal. Hamsters are not fast animals. If they had to go out during the day to get food and water, it would be easy for predators like hawks or other large birds to catch them. Hamsters rely on being nocturnal for survival. It is easier for them to hide in darkness to avoid being caught by predators. All right, think of the words that were just repeated. We had hamster for sure. We had nocturnal. Several times that was repeated. And predators. So I want those words out to the side. Hamster, nocturnal, predators. All right, so what I want you to do now is I want you to keep reading, and I want you to do the rest. And I want you to take yours, and every time you read a paragraph, I want you to circle the repeated words, and I want you to jot them in your margin. And remember today that one of the ways to find the main idea is to look for repeated words. Now, those repeated words are going to be called details. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you a question we're going to be looking at, and I'll write it on my board because when we finish reading the whole text, we're going to go back to those words we jotted in the margin, and we're going to ask ourselves a question. What can I learn from these details? Or what did I learn from these details? What did I learn from these details? Now, we're really going to do that part tomorrow, but I want you to know there's a purpose because I could go back right now and I could look at the beginning. I had the word sleep to start with, but I went on down and I got the word nocturnal. So, what did you learn from those two details, from sleep and nocturnal? Right, that nocturnal animals sleep during the day. So I can jot that down. I think I will. I'm going to write my sentence at the top. Nocturnal animals sleep during the day. So I have a main idea sentence right now. Nocturnal animals sleep during the day. And I used my details in order to answer my question, what did I learn from these details? Okay, so that's why I want you to do the whole text, and I want you to circle the repeated words, and I want you to jot them in the margin, because I'm going to ask you tomorrow, what did I learn from these details? And the answer to that question will help us with the main idea.